From the Ticats Audio Network, this is a special players-only roundtable. Looking back at the 2013 Eastern Final, hosted by Courtney Stephen.
Okay, welcome to a special playoff edition roundtable. Special, I don't even know if this is special. Is special a good enough word? This is a limited edition, players only. Blast from the Past roundtable, playoff edition, presented by Ticats Audio Network. This is Courtney Stephen. I'm here with my friends, my teammates, my brothers, Luke Tasker, Jamal Johnson, Rico Murray, and of course, Andy Fantuz. Gentlemen, how's it going?
Doing great.
What's
man.
up, baby? Fellas, how are you?
Man,
Good
I'm
to
feeling
be here,
amazing,
boys.
man. It's nice to see you fellas.
Man, we had to bring the band back together because this Sunday coming up, we've got the Ticats invading the six, heading down to QEW to play against the bitter rivals, the Toronto Argos, in the East Final to vie for a chance to play in that Grey Cup game. And the last time that the East Final was in Toronto, it was November 2013, and that's when we were all on that field together playing against Ricky Ray, Andre Dury, Chad Owens, just to name a few, in that double blue. It was quite the game with a dramatic finish, but I mean, where do we even begin? Do you guys, first of all, I'm sure you remember, but Andy, let me ask you, you had a heck of a game. What do you remember from that game, just leading up to playing against a rival for a chance to go to the Grey Cup? What was the vibe like? What's it always like to go down that QEW and play against Toronto?
The thing I remember the most is that we had like 60% of the fans were Ticat fans. It was, and they're much louder too than the Toronto fans. So it was like twice as loud for us. It was like a home game in the Skydome there. That's what I remember the most, and just an epic battle. Like we got down a little bit, I remember, and then we clawed back, and then and they had a chance near the end to tie it up, and D stood tall. So yeah, it was just an epic game.
Man, JJ, you played in this league for a while, and I mean, you've been a part of many battles, Toronto versus Hamilton. Man, what was it like for you? Not just this specific game in the playoffs, but anytime you got a chance to play against the Argos. Like, tell people what that rivalry was like.
Yeah, I remember being asked this question when I played, and I kind of likened it to, Duke, North Carolina basketball. Those like big time rival games. That's how it felt to me. And I talked to Tuz 3 or 4 weeks ago. Him and Louis, and he asked me about my favorite or like most memorable moment in as a Ticat. And I don't think anything stood out more than playing, those games against the Argos, right? Like the city was blazing. Every time we went to their stadium, like we had, at least half the fans there. And yeah, it's nothing like it, right? And going into this game, it was no different. We started out kind of shaky on defense, and special teams started the game, I think, with a takeaway. And the offense kept us in the game. In second half, they controlled the ball. The time of possession was crazy, and we was able to stand tall in the second half and make a couple plays to seal the deal after they put in all that work. So yeah, it was a great feeling, man, and great to do it with you boys, man. We had a young squad,
Mm-hmm.
2/5.
It was a young squad.
Yeah, 2/5 of this crew is like old vets, and y'all boys were the new blood, and and y'all took us all the way there, man.
Hey, Luke, I believe we were both rookies technically that year.
Me too.
Man, coming into weren't you in Edmonton before
I
that?
was, but I never played.
So technically you were a rookie in game.
That's crazy, huh?
But I never played in Edmonton.
He just looked old.
That's crazy, man. So, okay, from your perspective, you were in Edmonton, so you had a little bit of a sense for that CFL. Luke, I know you're from close, just over the border in Buffalo, so you had to know a little bit about the CFL, but just being new in the league, tell me a little bit about what you knew about the rivalry coming in versus how it was when you're actually in it.
Yeah, I knew a little bit. I knew about the Grey Cup and that was kind of the extent of it because the Grey Cup falls around our American Thanksgiving, and so I kind of remember just that end of the year vibe. But I didn't know anything, man. I had come up there after being released by the Chargers. I was up there for after Labor Day, and then got injured. So this 2013 Eastern Final was my fourth game I was playing in the CFL. And this was so CFL to me at the time. It was my fourth game playing, and it was my third game against Toronto. Like I came in, and we played Calgary in Guelph, played in Toronto, played back against Toronto back to back, and then I got injured I tore my meniscus. Wait for the swelling to come down. I got back for this game again against Toronto. So I was playing my fourth ever CFL game, but I knew Toronto well, and man, it was awesome. I really felt like I was, joining into something really, really special and really cool. We were in Guelph that year. Like, I couldn't believe the way that the Ticat fans were, like, driving 45 minutes into what in my mind was the middle of nowhere. Obviously Guelph is like not really the middle of nowhere, but like I was like, where are we right now? And all these fans drive out there, and then they fill up the Rogers Center, and then we go back to the Rogers Center, and they're all over. I mean, and the stadium was a skeleton. Like, I remember driving my first night into Hamilton to go like meet the coaches the next morning, driving to what was that? Like the Royal King Hotel or whatever that hotel used to be our
Crown Plaza.
Crown Plaza.
Plaza. There we go.
No big deal, just the Crown Plaza.
that one. So, and I remember driving down King Street my first night into Hamilton, and the stadium was a skeleton. Like, it was just getting up, and I was like, man, this really feels like a cool, like they're building something here. And you're right. It did feel like a young team when you watched that game, the 2013 East Final. Like, they were rookies doing all kinds of things, man. Like, there was all sorts of young guys out there. It was just a great, great experience.
Man, Rico, what was it like coming into the CFL? I remember distinctly you played, I think, every single position possible. Like, you played corner, you played half, you played Sam. If I rolled an ankle, you was playing safety. Like, they threw everything at you, man. And then you had to go up against, future Hall of Famer Ricky Ray at the time, man. What was it like for you getting thrown in that deep water?
It's either sink or swim, honestly. But I just felt like, for me, like, I had so much like anxiety built up that it helped me like just play to a whole nother level. Cause obviously, like, we're all competitors. We all play at the highest level, but just that type of pressure and just not wanting to be the guy to let my teammates down or not get the job done. Like, I just always try to take my game to another level, and just pretty much it was all part of the preparation too. Some of it was just instincts, but most of it was just the way that I prepared. And we had like, guys like JJ and Toos that we were able to lean on as young guys that made it like a sense of security out there. Like, I knew that I was going to be able to get the job done because, like, if I played fast, I knew JJ was going to be flying to the ball, and I knew he had bad intentions when he was going to get there. I knew that when we were in practice and I was going against Toos, that I was going against one of the best guys to ever do it. So, like, if I could cover him, if I could stick with him and make it hard for him in practice, then when I get in the game, like, my job shouldn't be that hard. But
Yeah, that iron sharpens iron type
like,
of thing, man. JJ, you played next to one of the at the time he was a rising star. I remember watching the film and I'm like, was that Simone running down on kickoff? When's the last time 21 was running down on a kickoff? But man, like, what was it like playing with a young wild 21 back then, and just now watching him, ball through the years and get to the point where he is? You feel like you passed the torch?
Yeah, if I ever had the torch, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, no. Again, y'all came in with, bro. I fell in love with our defensive room and training camp. Right, Coach O had a great staff put together, but the talent we had in the room was insane, man. And to be playing next to Simone, amongst all you other first year guys, whether you want to be a rookie or not. But I think at one point we were starting like 10 or 11 first year guys on defense, right? And Simone like gave me life, man, because I never was like the most fluid and like athletic guy. I don't think, but the way that dude moved, or actually moves, I watched a little bit of this game we're talking about, and like I was like in slow motion sometimes next to this guy. Like he's fast. Rico mentioned bad intentions. He comes with intention and conviction when he's hitting people. And he brought that energy, right? He's always loud and eccentric type of dude, right?
That's a nice way of putting it.
Just his personality, right? But he's fun and he plays that way. He embodies everything and he backs up everything that he talks. And I had a blast playing with Simone, man, and I'm happy to see all the success he's had with the team since that point. And I'm looking forward to seeing what else he can and the organization will be doing.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, I see you pulling up the picture. Is that Rico Murray with the 0 on?
Rico and Simone, yeah. Simone with the hammer.
That's Rico. Hey man, Coach O put it in your mind. Whenever you're attacking from the blind side, bring that hatchet, that little baby hammer. You knock the ball out, man. I feel like coaching, the coaching has been something that we didn't talk about too much yet, but something that's consistent from 2013 till now is Coach O was on that staff, and on the other side of the ball, you had Chris Jones, who somehow ended back up on this Toronto team just in time for the late season, a game like this. So, man,
I can vividly remember like how mad he was getting on the sideline when I would, do my little flipper thing at 10 yards and just basically just body somebody and then run the out. And I just kept catching it. And he was just losing his mind, yelling at the ref. I can just like vividly remember that game.
Man, that's a vet move, that little flipper. I mean, you and Hank were on the same page. You had like 11 catches for like 114 yards or something like that, and the next closest receiver had like 3 catches. Did you pay Hank to get all those targets, or was it just because you just couldn't be stopped, man? Like, what was it that you guys had going on that game?
Man, it was just the way the game went. Like, with our receiver core, we always took turns kind of, getting the production done. And it's just the way the cards laid that time that, they were playing a lot of man. So I was able to run those outs and Hank trusted that throw a lot. And then when they were playing zone, I remember vividly, like they were always bringing the Will, like, what was his name? Ball, right? Number 6.
Yeah,
Marcus Ball.
Yeah. He was always coming from like the other side of the field to the hash, like where I was running my digs and stuff and trying to get underneath it. So that was a wrinkle I hadn't really seen too much before, like literally bringing a guy across like 20 yards, probably every third play or something like that.
So you're saying Chris Jones was trying to do something and you were in his playbook. He's always got something going on, and I'm sure it's going to be no different this weekend. But one of my favorite plays from that game was Luke, you'll appreciate it, was the second touchdown. I don't know if you got a chance to look at it.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like I just like got caught up right on the goal line, just a yard in the end zone and kind of spun around. And then I ran like a sort of like laterally across the field and set the guy up on the goalpost.
Yeah.
And I had him like running there and I just dipped around the goalpost and he was just like, oh, what the heck? What's this goalpost doing here? And I just ran him right in the goalpost and then punted the ball like into the Hard Rock Cafe. Yeah, that was my favorite play of that game. But
man, that's a CFL classic. That's a CFL classic. That good old goalpost pick, man. When you come up here, you better be ready for that. I know that's in Tommy Condell's playbook, isn't it, Luke?
Yeah, heck yeah, man. And Andy put it in Tommy's playbook. That Tommy had a couple good ones in that game too. As you scroll through it, we did like the Dan Lefevre double cluster, like 3 offensive linemen set, once or twice for a first down. We had some trickery going on there. Courtney, what we missed out on this podcast? We should have got Greg Ellingson on this podcast. Career still going on. He had a good game too, but I would love to ask him about what he remembers of his touchdown in this game. Fantuz. Did you watch that by chance?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was hilarious. You see us on the sidelines after talking because Greg 100% mental error ran my route. And so we're like in trail technique on arrows together. And he's ahead of me and I kind of went, oh no, like one of us is wrong here. And then he dove for a touchdown. I was like, hey, good. All right. But we're on they got the camera on him on the sidelines and he and I are laughing because it was supposed to be my touchdown that he scored there. But yeah,
That's hilarious.
Fun receiver room we had that year, man.
That's hilarious. I remember, speaking of people running your routes, I remember at the end of the game when the ball was fumbling through the end zone, and obviously the game's over, time is expiring, the ball's on the ground, and you see some ravenous, bloodthirsty Ticats running to dive on the ball, because little did they know that whoever recovered that fumble might have ended up with a little Christmas bonus, man. So everybody's over there thinking that the game's over. These guys are fighting for Christmas gifts, man, in the end zone. That's hilarious, man. Rico, what were those meeting rooms like? What do you remember from just, getting ready in the playoffs and just being in that vibe, man? Like, explain to these people so they can understand what it was like, the difference in the tempo from like a regular season game.
Other than you trying to steal my food every morning, Rico.
I thought you was trying to share, man. I thought you was sharing, man. Come on now. No, but the meetings, man, listen, man, the meetings are some of the most live wire meetings that I've ever been a part of. And it was like, honestly, like, you did not need coffee to wake up in the morning and get ready to go to work. As soon as you came into the meeting, there was a little bit of music playing. Coach Roundtable always had the meetings rocking in the morning. So, like, when you come in there, you already know what type of day it's going to be. And then when he gets up there and he starts letting you know what's going on, he does his little history lesson, whatever it may be, has his little the warrior of the week. You know what I'm saying? We'll be learning about each day and stuff. So, it was a very informative meeting, but there was always like a sense of direction and a sense of purpose to every meeting and everything that was spoken in those meetings. And then it was like, by the time you was ready to get out of those meetings and go get ready and get taped or whatever it was to get prepped for practice, you was already ready to go. Like, practice started like that. It was fast. We're out there flying around. It was, everybody already had the competitive juices flowing. So, like we said before, with the iron sharpens iron, guys were ready to get going and get to work. Like, practice was the most fun part of the season for me. The journeys to and from MAC, the time spent together, like that played a huge role into like, the character and the development of our team, because it just brought us so much closer, especially with a group of young guys like we had. Like, we had so many young guys on the team. For us to be able to have those bus rides and be able to bond with the veteran presence on the team, it helped us like become more like them and understand the game more and what it takes, to pretty much develop into a championship caliber team. So
man, it's funny what you say. Like, there's few places in the CFL, if anywhere, like Jeff Reinbold's meeting room.
Yeah.
Like, when you show up and they're playing Mystical and they're playing Bob Marley, I don't even know what else is on the playlist. Every time I stepped in there, I'm like, hey, what is this, Shazam? Get a new track. Then you're learning about history. You might spend only 40% of the time on plays because it's a simple play, but we're going to go out there, we're going to run this, we're going to run that, execute it, but it's more about the mentality. And I feel like, on your point, Rico, that season we started out like 1-5. You know what I mean? And we had every excuse in the book that we could have made. Our office was downtown. Our practice field was a 15-minute bus ride away every day. And then the home field was in another city. And so, like you said, we had to ride a bus to get to practice every day, and we were losing time. So guys had to pick up the slack and do voluntary meetings before and after practice without the coaches. And I feel like that was a part of the culture we built, where it was just a type of accountability to your own greatness. Like show up for yourself and for your teammates. And to a degree, I feel like that's carried on to the team now, because that kind of stuff is what builds the character of a team. I mean, Luke, you were the last one standing from that 2013 roster. Like, do you think those character traits of, go the extra mile, show up when no one expects you to show up, do you think that it was really born there, or am I just, making a fantasy out of something that was a kind of ugly situation?
No, I mean, think about it. You still got Coach O, Tommy, and Jeff Reinbold, who have all at one point left during these during that 8-year stretch, they were all at one point doing something else, but they're all back and doing this again. And that kind of culture stayed around. I'm not going to tell you guys what, Simone Lawrence, how he leads that unit, defensively, and those guys. Every year we were in Tim Hortons Field, they were 8:15 meetings all the time when the workday, starts at 9. I'll say, not to talk out of both sides of our mouths here, but Andy and I have had this discussion a few times this year. There was something about Jarvis that was just so, like, there was good vibes in that basement locker room and that basement meeting room. Like, Jarvis was awesome, man. Like, it was really great. And there was something about it too. You came in, you got your work done, you did extra, and then you left. At Tim Hortons Field, it's too nice. Like, if you're there, like, there's guys there till 6 p.m., man. So, like, there's like that, there's that little bit of pressure that you gotta stay around and stay and be late. I always felt like at Jarvis, 4 p.m., man, like, that you were the last guy there and everyone's work was done. But that's the nature of everything. People are getting, it's getting more and more serious. There's more things to do, more prep, but that team and that mentality, like you said, it certainly is still around. And Jeff Reinbolt has a lot to do with that, because you know how it is, man. That special teams meetings are the team meetings every morning.
Man, I'll never forget, Rico, when you walked into the gym that one time and, like, you stared at the bench press for a couple minutes, like for about 10 seconds. You looked over at the squat machine for about 10 seconds, and then you walked out of there. You're like, I got my mental reps in. I'm good. In the weight room.
Hey, there's two types of players, man. There's the players who lift all year, and there's the players who make it through the season without lifting all year. I don't know how you could be in that second group, but there's guys who do it, man. Those who can do.
There was always a time and a place to lift, but, like, I love to get my lifts in on days where I could have time to recover. And then, like, during the off season, I started prepping my body more so I could work out in the mornings before practice. So then practice just became conditioning and stuff, because I had to change my routine up. But I was a lot younger back then at Jarvis, so it was the days where I could just come in and look at the weights and be like, all right, I got it in, got my mental reps in today. But as I got older,
I wonder what science is behind that. Like, how much you can actually benefit from those mental reps. Like, you're always ready to play, though, Rico. I ain't taking anything away from you. You're always ready to play and ball out.
He's a visual learner.
Up to any challenge.
He's a visual learner. JJ,
I'm a great visual learner.
What kind of preparation did you used to have to do before a game, either in the week leading up or right before the game? Like, did you have
lots of shrugs?
Big old traps. Did you have a routine? Do you have a meal that you ate pregame? Did you have something like a playlist? How'd you get ready for the game? Superstitions? Anything?
Before games, yeah, bro. I would definitely do an Epsom salt bath the night before, and the day like before the game. At some point before the game, have a nice big breakfast, big dinner the night before. Yeah, and pregame, I jammed to I had a gospel playlist I used to listen to, man. Like, music gets, like, at some point during the day, I might listen to some Pac and some, something a little bit more heavier. But right before the game, man, I was on the field, like, jamming to my gospel play mix and or playlist, and that just got my mind in the right state. Yeah, I don't know. It gives me the energy that I needed to get in that zone and just peace of mind. Mind is clear, and then when after we sing that national anthem, it's like it's go time. No friends on the other side. I don't want my teammates helping. I'm not helping my old friends up off the field after I put them on the ground, and I don't want to see any of my teammates do it. And I love seeing. Like I said, in this game here, in this Eastern Finals, like Tuz was getting those catches and shrugging these boys off, and like that look he had in his face, like y'all can't mess with me, because like I said, y'all carried a lot of slack in that game, because Ricky Ray was on point. There was just quick game, he's dropping dimes, and so to see that mentality that our offense was bringing. To keep us in the game until it was our turn to really, really show up. it was amazing to see all that. And yeah, my preparation, kind of just led to whenever my number was called, I just wanted to do my thing.
Hey, Tuz, are you a rah music, hype music, or are you a calm, slow music before the game type guy?
Tuz, tell him favorite song, man.
Circle of Life, baby. Matabanya.
No way.
Oh yeah. Oh, it got me juiced up. Oh yeah.
Man, it's just like it's energy, it's good vibe. It's from coming from a positive place, man. Like Andy, I remember I missed the first 4 games of 2015, and the team is out in Sask, and I'm just like about to watch it from Hamilton on the couch, and I just get a text from Tuz, like the lyrics to that song. But like if you write out the lyrics, like you don't, it's in Swahili. You like don't really know what you're reading. And I go, what is this? And he sends me the link, and I go, oh, he's ready. He's ready to go, man. He's playing it in the Sask Dungeon locker room.
Can we confirm that the Lion King was written in Swahili? Is that what you said?
It means like the king is here, the king is arrived. Wow, it's awesome.
Honestly, that's probably the most amazing, interesting fact I heard in a long time. Rico, were you cracking open the what do they call them, little packs that they got on the sideline before the game? The ones that they're supposed to give it to people when they get knocked unconscious. You know what I'm talking about?
The little ammonium packs.
Yeah, the little ammonia things. Did you guys hit those?
I did.
Yeah, I did.
From time to time. But I wasn't
part of my routine.
I wasn't one of the guys that like to drop it in the bottle and do all that. Like,
drop it in the cup. Drop it in
was
the cup.
It bulky? Bulky would drop like 4 of those things in the bottle. Or something like
that sounds like a D-line thing to do.
Yeah. I had to stay away from the D-line, man. Like, give me mine, let it air out a little bit.
It wakes you up.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Well, I know these boys are going to be ready for the game coming up on Sunday. Do you guys got any words of encouragement for the team or anything that you want to leave the good people of Tiger Town with before we head out on this one? JJ.
Me first. These guys, I know they've put in the work all year, man. They built, they've built this thing from week 1. It's been a crazy year, but they're here for a reason. So just go, everybody do their part. Play their role. Don't farm anybody else's land, and the things are going to happen that are meant to happen. They got a really talented group of guys. The coaching staff is again on point, and just go and compete every down, and let's get this thing back to the hammer, man. It's been long enough. The wait is over.
Yeah, Tuz, what do you got for him?
Man, like you're saying that. You got a chance to play the Grey Cup in your own backyard, and I'm talking to the fans and the team. Like, you got to show up and leave it all out there and be able to look yourself in the mirror after the game. I'm talking even the fans. Look yourself in the mirror and know you gave it everything you got, and don't have any regrets. You know what I mean? And then whatever happens is going to happen. But I think if they do that, they got a good chance. A really good chance to win and come out on top. And it's a special team. So, I'm just, man, I can't wait for that game. Can't wait.
Absolutely. Rico, what you got for him?
I just feel like with everything that this team has been through this year, it's just pretty much been preparing them for this moment. They've been through a lot of adversity and they've responded very well. So just them having that, along the path to learn from, I think it's put them in a great position to take advantage of this moment. This is a win and you're in type moment. It's against a foe that very well, and you understand what they're capable of. You understand yourselves. As long as you understand the task at hand, you do your job, you stay in your lane, you play as one, and you take advantage of every opportunity, one play at a time. There's no regrets at the end of the day if you give it your all.
Luke, bring them home. What do you got for these guys?
Man, Andy and I, you listen to Wasa Buena, you get in that positive space before the game. JJ, like the positive, like gospel music before the game. Like I used to tell Zach Caleros, and I did the same thing with Jeremiah. When we go on the field, I would have been like, hey, if we don't have fun here today, I'd rather just not do this. You got to go out there. This is the best job on the planet Earth. And you get to go out there and smile and run wild out there, man. For the players, put a Simone Lawrence smile on your face and go out there and have the most fun you've ever had in your life, doing your job better than you've ever done it before. And shoot, if that doesn't win with everybody going out there to be great together, then I just don't know how to win at all then. So, man, have fun and enjoy this is what I'd say to the players. To the fans, you don't need any direction. You're gonna be there and be loud. I can't wait to see the game.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, I appreciate you guys tapping in and being here with me today to reminisce. It's been a long time since this team went down the QEW to Toronto in a playoff match, the East Final specifically, to punch a ticket to that Grey Cup. As you know, the Grey Cup will be in Hamilton this year, 108th, and it's about time that the Ticats made an appearance and won that thing at home. So let's hope they handle business. This has been a special presentation of Ticats Audio Network Players Only Roundtable. For Andy Fantuz, Luke Tasker, Rico Murray, Jamal Johnson, I am Courtney Stephen. Make sure you guys check out the rest of the shows on the Ticats Audio Network, and the coverage for the East Final begins at 10:30 on Sunday. Make sure to tune in. Thanks for joining us. Peace.